Okay, this is video number 93 for cello students. In this video, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to learn to play 152 in your book. So be open to page 37. Want to kind of quiz you, even though I won't be able to see your answers or hear your answers, just on the C string. Because if you don't know how to read these, learning to play 152 and 155. So I'm going to do kind of like what I did way back a long time ago. And I'm going to have to give you answers, but this is, trust me, this is to your benefit. Okay, these are notes on the C string. I'm going to draw this a little different place. This note right here. Hopefully you said that was an E. And how do you play it? 3 fingers. Okay. Now this one. That is an F. You play it with 4 fingers. If you're getting them before I tell you the answer, wonderful. If you're not, you're a little slow on this. I did that on purpose. That is the one I just did 2 notes ago. That is an E. 3 fingers on the C string. The reason I did that, I want you to see it right next to this one. This is the lowest note you will ever see. This is your open C string. So 2 lines there. That is C. That is E. Okay? C and E. Now the one that I personally think looks a little bit weird, that is D. 1 finger on the C string. 1 finger on the C string. Okay, there's only 4 notes, but that is F, 4 fingers. That is E, 3 fingers. C, no fingers, that's your lowest note. D. So you're going to have to be able to get those, and D was 1 finger. You're going to have to be able to get those really super fast now, okay? Because you're going to be playing those notes. So, shadow bow, number 152. And you are, yes, you are in C major. Your very first note is an open C. We're going to go pretty slow. But here's the problem. You just learned whole notes, right? And we know how whole notes are hard to play slow. But this song will be hard to play slow because of the whole notes, but it's going to be hard to play fast because your notes are new. So there's no real winning solution here other than practice to read your notes. I'm going to do it at 72, which again is going to make those whole notes kind of difficult. I want you to notice, so a whole note gets 4 whole beats. Look at the very last 2 measures of this song, and you see a whole note tied to a quarter note. That's a tie right there. We haven't seen ties in a little bit, but that's a tie. Okay, a tie, a quarter note tied to a whole note tied to a quarter note, that's going to be 5 beats. That's going to be the super long note. We just can't go any slower than this. So hopefully you're good at reading your new notes. Shadow bow. And I'm going to make it a tiny bit slower. And 1, 2, shadow bow. Open C. C, C, D, E, F, open G. Now this is an E, 3 fingers, E, 3, 4, okay? Play just that much. If you think you need to pause the video and practice it, that's fine. Play measure 1 through 4. 1, 2, open C, and go. A lot of people do okay until they get to that whole note. And the whole note just freaks them out a little. Like, I went better than that, and it doesn't have a stem, it messes them up. But also, there's a jump from open G to E there. So 3 fingers, okay? I want you to go back to shadow bowing from the beginning. Shadow bow from the beginning, we're going to go all the way to the end now, okay? 1, 2, shadow bow, go. C, C, D, E. E, F, G, now A, here comes that E, E, 3 fingers, 4 counts, G, 4 counts, 1, 2, 3, play measure 5. No, go from the beginning. Play the whole first line. Whole first line. And 1, 2, beginning, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm going to suggest to you that you do right now is pause the video and practice just the first line, okay? Once you can do the first line, the rest of it's going to go fairly well. There's one little trick in the second line, but get the first line right before you try to do the rest of this video. Okay, if you're ready, shadow bow the second line. You might notice the first 4 measures are the same as the first line. Shadow bow second line. 1, 2, second line, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, take off. Okay? All right, I want you to play the second line with me now. 1, if you need to practice on your own, pause the video and practice on your own. Second line only. Ready, say, and go. Okay, now you might have noticed that the first 4 measures of the first line and the first 4 measures of the second line are exactly the same. The tricky part is measure 5 of each line kind of starts off the same. Play the last 4 measures of the first line with me. Starting in measure 5. First line, measure 5 to the end of that line. 1, 2, G, and go. 4 counts. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Okay? Now do the last 4 measures of the second line. Starts off like what you just did, but it's different. Okay? Last 4 measures, second line. And ready, say, and go. Now go back to E right here. E. 1, take, 2, take, 3, take, 4, take, 1, take, off. Now, very likely, you need to pause and practice this. Once you're ready, go back to the beginning with me. We're going to play the whole thing. Go. 1, 2, beginning, and go. 4 counts here. 4 counts. 2, 3, 4. Remember, lots of weight with your left hand. 2. Now, second line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, take, 2, take, 3, take, 4, take, 1, take, off. Okay? So, trust me on this. You got to get this one really good before you can try to do the next video. Because the next video, it's all about reading C string notes, but it's a lot more complicated. Okay? The problems come for people that don't know their C string notes. So learn your C string notes really well. Learn how to read them in your music, and then you'll be ready.